Good evening, I guess. So the reason why we're making this episode today, I mean, it's actually supposed to be STFU's first episode, but we had some trouble getting people to participate because the first thing that they would say, the first thing they would fear is that they would get in trouble. They would get in trouble for actually speaking up. But then it hit me, this question. I think a lot of people have been misinformed. Like they believe that they do have the freedom of speech. But let me ask you, if you do have the freedom of speech, number one, you would not have the fear of speaking up, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You wouldn't have. Like you see in some countries, they kind of just insult their own president and all of that, like openly.
That's
openly.
Why.
So, but the fact is not just that they have the freedom of speech, they kind of know what would happen if they do speak up.
Yeah,
right?
You are educated on your rights.
You're educated on your rights. You have to, but that's what I mean. So we kind of don't have the freedom of speech, you understand?
Yeah.
We have to understand that we don't really have the freedom of speech. It's a fact. So anyway, the issue at hand right now, the issue that we found out, we went around, we started speaking with a lot of people, we did our survey, and I think the most complaint came on the topic of the system. The system, because when I say the system, the immediate quote that will come to your head is fuck the system. Because that's what we hear them everywhere, in songs, fuck the system.
Everything, yeah.
It is. But we do not need to say that, we do not need to fuck the system. The thing is, if you can identify what is the problem, right, in the system,
yeah,
I think there are some roles in which we can play to I think avoid it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a solution.
To correct it somewhat, because if we don't really have to throw the system completely aside. We can just identify what's the small issues that is causing the system to malfunction. Yeah. So we
kind of solve it ourselves.
We solve it ourselves.
So for all purposes of this, what our team advised, for all purposes of this conversation, we'll be looking at this entire issue in the form of an observation. So we will create a hypothetical multiracial society, a country, just a model of it. And in that, let's say that there one country that we said, there are 4 groups of people, A, B, C and D. See, the underlying problem of all of this is that we've already separated them, group A, group B. We should not separate them. We shouldn't have, in the beginning itself.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I think even leaders from around the world, people who's visited, leaders around the world, they would admit that, I think they would agree that we should not, when you separate these groups of people, we kind of slow down the growth of a country.
Yeah.
Either we stop or we slow it down. Either one of it.
Yeah.
Because you see an example. Now it's COVID. Everyone is facing about the same problem around the world. First, it's an economical problem, then it becomes a physical problem, which eventually becomes a physiological problem, right? So we understand what it means. Everyone is facing the same problem globally. But in any country, we rely on all the people, everyone in the country, so that we can repair, we can grow back, we can repair the damages. But imagine if we are all suffering together, but only one group gets most of the benefits. So,
yeah, like for example, in the game GTA 5.
The GTA, yeah, I think everyone would have played. Yeah. If we were to do a prep,
for a heist, everyone is preparing for the heist together equally, but once the heist is done,
only one. Imagine if only one party gets most of the cut.
That's right.
Yeah, because the benefits are vast. It's not like a small benefits, because we kind of imagine if we stop the other group's growth of the country, like they cannot take a position of power because they are not from a certain group. Or if, let's say, they do eventually become or get something, and it becomes a problem because there is no people from the certain group in the organization.
I guess you are defining discrimination.
I think it is like it's a kind of exploit also.
Yeah, it is.
So it's for this hypothetical country again. Again. It is. But then again, we cannot just simply blame the, I think, governing organization of this country, of this aforementioned country. We would also have to look at the representatives for these individual groups, because that's where most of the complaints lead to also.
Right? That's where the trail ends. That's
where the trail I think starts. I don't know how
starts.
to start.
Something.
So it's not as if the system would not do anything. Imagine a system that kind of helps, not a lot, but kind of helps. So we would rely on this representative for these individual groups to delegate all of the benefits. Let's say if it was a grant, let's say it was some sort of anything, we would rely on this.
Yeah.
But what these representatives do is that they kind of decide on how they spend the benefits.
Yes. Yes.
or let's say they don't delegate the benefits. That's another
And that's
thing.
because there is no check and balance in
There is
power.
there is no check and balance. Yes, you know, this position, this representative or this elective that we vote, the person in charge, if he doesn't have any check and balance, he has no authority for him to report a process. Or when people ask him questions, when people ask him, he replies with law. He uses the loopholes to, like, you know, fire back the questions. Then it would not thrive. There would be so much of problems.
Exactly.
And because there's no check and balance, he decides how he uses the fund, how the organization will move. He decides, it's up to him. So all the money, imagine if you have a fund, instead of actually helping people we need, you know, crucial people, the everyday man, like, you know, the bottom people, they help the existing organizations. They help, like, you know, major funds and all
That's
that.
already big. They
So
don't
that
really need the fund.
so that they would look good on paper, so that they can say that, oh shit, they did something. You know, they did something. But that's not what's important, dude. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially during COVID, we are the ones who suffer. You remember what we did, that article, 1,000 businesses
Oh yeah, exactly.
was closed down.
That was rough.
But and that example, remember that interview we did with that uncle?
With that uncle,
we
yeah.
don't want to share the interview because he himself was afraid to actually expose himself.
Yep.
But the summary of it was his daughter, who was actually qualified, she was actually a good student. She even appeared in the Star and everything. He went to multiple organizations. He filled up so many forms, but he did not get the loan.
He did not get the loan.
Instead, he went
from
to
his representing party.
Yeah. So instead, he had to go to the other parties, other groups representing party and get help. But that's not fair. Do you understand? And here we have this one representative, we have this one elective who's spending money as he sees. You know, the extravagant spending. We don't need certain things, you know, but they do spend it on. Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Because of his domestic ego problems. You know, among themselves.
It defies the system itself.
It defies. There is no system.
Yeah, at that point there is no
There
system.
is no system at that point.
Yeah.
At that point. So it's like how, you know, it's like basically playing the lottery. Imagine here you have all qualified and everything, right? Then you go and apply. That's another thing. Like, you get what you. But imagine if you simply go apply, fill up all the forms and everything. It's like a
Game
chance.
of chance.
It's a game of chance.
chance.
You simply get or you don't get.
Yeah.
It's not fair, bro. They might as well just go right number, right?
Yeah, that's right. Damachai 5130.
Yep. We're not sponsored by any of the number companies, by the way. So none of that. So yeah, but then again, we don't want to outsource the blame, right? Let's look at all the problems. Let's look at what everyone said, because we interviewed not just a layman, but we interviewed like people who are in authority, people who have authority, headmasters, businessmen, and almost all groups of people, I would say. So let's look at what we can do. So we already spoke about the system, the representative. Now let's look at what we can do as individuals, right? We can educate ourselves.
Yes,
That is literally what a few people, actually, that's what they advised us. We can educate ourselves, go and read statistics, find out about government grants, about the entire story.
Yeah.
Let's say if the government were to say 5 million, you know, they allocate 5 million, find out the entire story. Now we apply their advice. See, those were advices. We apply that advice to this hypothetical model we're discussing. We don't want to instigate anything because it's just a hypothetical model.
Yeah.
Right, this observation. So, imagine these 4 groups of people. Imagine they educate themselves. Like the government is giving out this much of grant, the system is giving out this much of grant, and they do not have to rely on this representative anymore.
Exactly, that's the problem right now. When education, people less educated, they are the one who's getting stepped on.
They're the one getting stepped on because they got no other way, so they rely on this representative because the small perks.
Yeah, the small perks.
The small perks. So there's no choice. There's no other people to hand it out also.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we do not need them to hand it out. We can find it out for ourselves.
Exactly.
So the Yellow Submarine will be doing our part for STFU and Yellow Submarine. We'll be doing our part in compiling as much information as we can. We will try to get you all the links for government grants and all that. This is on the side. This has nothing to do with the observation. We will compile legal aid clinics, the whole list of them, the entire ones in Malaysia, so that because they represent you for free at times. So we truly believe, everyone here, that money should not be the only thing that's standing between you and justice. Please. Yeah. So please contact these legal aid clinics if you are ever in trouble. If you
not
ever need
the grants.
the link. So just check in quite frequently so that we kind of update on a daily basis also. So educating. So we've already summarized the entire topic. We did not want to drag it on, but we truly hope that you would come and speak up for yourself, because all we did was compile opinions and what people had said. We wanted to paint.
We have less participants.
Yeah, we had to show. But please come and participate yourself. We truly have a team to structure it. like everything that we say today, as we had mentioned, it's on this hypothetical society and country only. It's not like.
It's not a real thing. Or is it?
Is it? I don't know. It is what it is. That's what it is. It is what it is. Understand it as you will. You know. So we did say everything, but so to summarize everything, let's just say we should not have divided these groups. You know.
Yes.
We should not have divided these groups because let me give you an example, and you can understand it as much as you will. Imagine country A and country B, right? Imagine there is one individual from another country. He comes to another country and he instigates problem between all these groups.
Groups of people.
These groups. And the country that he came from, his origin country, already wants him back, right? They already want to prosecute him. They're calling him back.
Okay.
But this country A, instead of sending him back, they protect him instead. They protect this bigot, this person who's already instigating problems in this country.
Okay.
But they throw away everyone who tries to speak up on crucial issues, on real issues.
Yeah.
They try to lock up, they try to put them in prison. How will a country survive, dude? We've already separated them and we cannot speak our mind. Then how will a country, this hypothetical country...
We are already divided itself.
It's already, that groups are already divided.
And we still cannot speak up on anything. How are we going to progress?
How are these groups going to progress? How is anyone in these groups going to progress, right? So, if you think you can contribute to this observation, please, we want more comments and we want you to speak the fuck up. We want you to participate. So, till next time, stay tuned and we will be waiting for all of your comments as I mentioned before. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. So, we'll see you in the next episode. Stay tuned for the links and everything. Cheers.